Welcome, broadcasting from the entirety of the Super Smash Bros. Community. This is Beyond the Metagame. I'm your host, Peon, this week from the Oval Office. I'm joined, as always, wonderful co-host, Abhi. Abhi, how you doing, big guy?
Doing great. Got some cold McDonald's in here.
Oh, yeah, that was Trump served McDonald's, right? That was the whole thing.
Yeah, it's cold. The fries are soggy. Yeah, I'm kind of miserable.
Could you imagine, bro? I think it was like what the high school football championships, right? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
You've been training all season. You win the championship. You go to the White House and you just eat like the same Big Mac that you ate like at the airport on the way there. Like, oh man! As you were pondering what food that you would inevitably consume in the White House, you're eating this burger, thinking like, man, dude. It's only going to get better from here.
Well, I'm going to hope that the public was horribly misinformed and that they were actually fed a wonderful steak dinner, or if they're vegetarian, a wonderful dinner of other sorts. But
can I say something? I think that McDonald's, I mean, obviously I'm not advocating for McDonald's, but as far as fast food goes, I feel like it's not too bad.
We can agree to disagree there. But it's all right, man.
It's
all
bad, but it's like the poster child for all things unhealthy. But I mean, come on, look, I'd rather have that than like Burger King or I don't know, Jack in the Box.
Dude, Jack in the Box, the jalapeno poppers, you don't get those at McDonald's.
You know, I haven't tried those.
Yeah, they're really good. So definitely have to try them out. In any case, I want to go on to this week in Smash for you, because I know we've been doing that, and I'm interested in what you've been doing this week.
I had a great week. I won a really big, well, relatively big Smash tournament. It was a 75 entrants or so. It was awesome. And unfortunately, there was no prize pot. That's the bad news. But the good news, the great news, is that the whole tournament was for Doctors Without Borders, an awesome charity. We raised over like $650. You know, this is like a local effort, right? It wasn't this huge outsourced thing. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool. All the proceeds of the tournament went to that. But I did win a trophy and a Cloud amiibo. So and we helped out a good cause. So I'm thrilled, man. What about you?
Yeah, it sounds like it's worth it. I just went to my local. Finally got some in-person practice today, so I'm really happy about that. I've been struggling to actually get some quality in-person practice, and I've just been pretty happy with the game. So nothing too much to report here. But
you playing DK still? You playing Wolf at all?
So I've kind of come to the conclusion that my DK is just by far my best character, and I'm not really feeling it with other characters.
Oh come on, dude! We talked about we were gonna make Wolf like we were gonna be the Wolf guys.
Yeah, it's like everyone's the Wolf guys first off.
True, I guess.
But
I guess that wouldn't make us very unique.
No, it wouldn't make us very unique. But I'm still playing Wolf though. He's still in there, but I've just found that I can do it with DK, and he's a lot of fun to play. So I might as well stick with him.
Well, that's cool, man. I'm happy that you're coming to that conclusion. I, on the other hand, have been playing a lot of different characters. Been playing some Wolf. Mostly been playing Inkling. Still been playing the Chrom quite a bit. It's been fun, man. But I've also been experimenting in tournament. Like in my first couple rounds, I've been kind of goofing around. Like I was playing Pichu, a little Mario even. I've just been kind of like wilding out a little bit. It's been kind of fun.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. that's good though. That's good. It seems like you're having a lot of success with Inkling, and your Inkling's doing really well. So, dude,
the game, though, like before we get into the episode, I just want to say, like, the game is in such an awesome place. Like, okay, so I want your take on this. Do you like playing more characters in this game or in Smash 4 more?
To be completely honest, I don't really know. I haven't really tested out enough characters in this game, but
but there isn't like a strong opinion either way.
Yeah, actually, I can say with conviction that I played more characters more often in Smash 4.
Yeah, see, that's funny. Yeah, I messed around with a lot of characters in Smash 4, but never like anywhere seriously. In this game, every character I play is like a new darling. Like I am some sort of like I don't know. I'm promiscuous character-wise in Smash Ultimate. In Smash 4, I was like your loyal dude. I was like, want to take home to mom and dad. But in Smash Ultimate, man, I'm sleeping around. That's for sure. Before we get into the episode proper today, I do want to do a bit of housekeeping. I'm very excited to announce officially to the world for the very first time BTM podcast merchandise. You see, AV and I, we're not doing so well financially. It's been very rough ever since AV had to be bailed out of prison for, public misconduct. So ever since then, it's been real rough on our wallets. So we would really appreciate any support you can provide. Also, come on, baby, you're gonna look sexy in that BTM merch, isn't that right, AV?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's gonna look pretty sick. We got some high quality stuff for you guys. So if you want to support us while looking fly, I think there's no better way to do it.
Yeah, man. You think you look sexy now, and trust me, you do. I'm talking to you. You're gonna look so much better when you're rocking the BTM merch. So, guys, thank you for your considerations. But AV, any last words before we get into the episode?
Nope.
All right, guys, stay tuned. Welcome back to Beyond the Metagame. This week, AV and I are excited to talk about Summit, man. I'm really pumped. It's this weekend. Dude, what are you feeling, man? Are you pumped?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, there's so many players that I want to see play each other, especially with like Zachary being super hit or miss. It seems like for the last 3 tournaments, I want to see him interact with a lot of the top players. I always enjoy seeing a lot of the really fun stuff, and getting to see them all play Mafia will be pretty cool. How about you?
Yeah, it'll be funny because, like, Summit's a time where we really get to see the players sort of stripped of the usual kind of circumstances that we usually see them in, right? Like, we usually see them on stage in front of a crowd. Well, now it's just them amongst themselves in a house, right? And surely there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people watching. But I don't know, there's something about, like, the Summit atmosphere that's just so fun to watch as a viewer. Like I was alluding to it earlier. You and I are both big Melee fans. In all my years as a Smash Bros. Player and stream watcher, Summit always seems to be my favorite event to watch. I really look forward to it.
Yeah, it's super unique in the sense that there's not that many like invitational type events. Smash is a very open. It's a very open playing field. There's no like, it's not like it's like normal sports where you have leagues where people are drafted in, or like tennis where like where it seems like where like everything's an invitational and there's play-ins. It's like a very open field. So for some reason, when we like do this like whole invitational thing and we only invite the best players, it's actually really hype.
Yeah, it's super cool, and I definitely don't think that every Smash tournament should be like this. I think that's part of what makes it so special. But it'll be cool, man. It'll be cool. I just want to see like what it's like to have Zachary and Mango sitting on a couch like together just chilling. Like, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be like a real convergence of a lot of different things that I like.
Yeah, I think a lot of the personality interactions between the Melee players who are kind of crossing over into Ultimate now, and the Smash 4 players who have adopted Ultimate as a new game, is going to be pretty cool. Obviously, the Melee people are like used to the Summit thing. We're probably gonna see them be more comfortable in the atmosphere, which is gonna be interesting. I want to see how both of them compare.
That's a good point. Like the whole we've seen, statistically speaking, for the most part, Smash 4 veterans are doing a lot better in Ultimate compared to Melee players, right? Like almost across the board, universally. But yeah, this is for all of the Smash 4 vets, their first time at Summit. So maybe the Summit veteranship will somewhat compare to the Smash 4 veteranship. Is that just dumb? Like, maybe, surely there's some truth to that.
I think as far as being a cool personality, that's going to be the case. I think the Melee players will know how to make the most of the event. In terms of results, it's not going to matter.
Yeah. That's probably true.
And I think you honestly believe that too. But I think the really important thing to take away is that unlike in previous Melee summits where it was kind of obvious that most of the best players were invited, obviously there were some campaign underdogs that made it that weren't necessarily even in the top 50. But in this case, we actually have a huge disparity in skill. Like you're talking about how the Melee players weren't necessarily close to the Smash 4 players, except for maybe you have like Leffen and Plup, but that's kind of about it.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the players that are in. So, first, the invited players, right? And this is kind of a source of controversy for a lot of people, and I think rightly so. So the invited players were, let's just go by one by one. Zero, which of course makes sense. The Smash 4 GOAT, probably the biggest streamer for Smash Ultimate. Like that makes sense. Then Mewtwo King, arguably the Smash Bros. GOAT. Of course that makes sense. And then you had MK Leo, arguably best player in the world, was the best player in the world at the end of Smash 4, right? And Nairo, another big name, Leffen and Armada. So those are the two kind of controversial choices, because Leffen and Armada, they weren't really big at all in Smash 4. They didn't play the game, and they hadn't really, at the time of the invitation, they hadn't really yet proven themselves as Ultimate players. So it was kind of questionable. It's like, well, if you're just gonna invite people off Legacy, why not also invite like Mango and those kind of guys, Hungrybox. What do you think about the invitees? Invitees? Was that a word? Invitees?
Yeah, I think that's a word. But I think it makes sense as far as viewership goes. If they wanted to maximize viewership, they did it. If they wanted to maximize competitiveness, they didn't do it. And so I think they just wanted to all in on just making a really fun event and something that a lot of people want to watch. Yeah. And I don't blame them at all. And I think it's a cool thing. I think there's a lot of opportunities for the best players to duke it out and the best players to show their stuff. There's a lot of majors. I think that this is a really unique experience in getting the people that are going to be most interesting to watch, like especially when the personalities are going to come out and we have the skits, we have a lot of the interaction. So I think they did the right thing. I don't think that there's I think this whole drama about the invitational aspect of it and voting for it is a little overplayed, considering that this is probably going to make the most fun event.
Right, and sure, like Beyond the Summit, the thing is, a lot of people don't take into account is the end of the day, like their bottom line is what's most important to them. Like Beyond the Summit needs to profit for them to do this. It's a business venture, right? And this is their first foray into Ultimate. Obviously, Ultimate's a very young game, but I think they really wanted to go all in, and like you said, on capitalizing the viewership. I think they just want as many eyes on the stream as possible. And I do agree that it is to the detriment of competition, right? They could have waited a little bit longer to send out those initial invites to see who's established themselves as like definitively the top whatever amount of players, 6 players. But I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't, because I think this is a really diverse spread.
Do you want to know something funny? I think they had to invite Zero. I think that was because Zero has built himself up as like such a huge Smash streamer. If they didn't invite him, he would just be restreaming their event for like 10K viewers.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure he's gonna. I remember reading his tweet a while ago. He said he was going to stream it while he was at the venue. He was gonna like carry around a backpack. So I think Zero's still streaming, which is ridiculous.
Oh my god, that's insane.
That's so weird. I really don't like that. I don't like the whole. If I was organizing a tournament, I don't know if I would let Zero restream the top 8. Like, it's mine to restream. I don't want you siphoning my viewers, but his argument and many other people's argument is that a lot of his viewership is casual, so they wouldn't really be watching tournament play anyway. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think there's some truth to that, but I don't know, man. Something about it doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I mean, I didn't really know about that, so that's news to me, and it's really funny. It's his thing to do. If he wants to do it and he wants to give viewers, that's cool. If he makes top 8, I don't I don't know if that's happening.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. I mean, Zero to me is the biggest question mark of this whole thing. He is the undisputed greatest of all time in Smash 4, and he was more dominant in that game than just about any esports competitor has ever been in any game. We're talking that kind of level of dominance. Zero has cemented himself on like the Mount Rushmore of esports, and as far as I'm concerned, and the tournament that he attended in Florida, where he got 9th, losing to Mute Ace and Samsora back in I think it was December or early January, I forget. That was kind of shocking to me. Everybody was expecting him to do great, and he didn't. And I wonder how he's going to handle that pressure and those expectations going into Summit. Also, when paired with the fact that he hasn't really had much tournament experience in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I was super surprised too. I didn't think the speed or the tech or the engine of the game would really hurt him that much, because he was a fairly well-known melee player before this. It's not like, in fact, to that end, I think Smash 4 held him back in some regards. But I guess
Project M, he was amazing. He was best in the world at Project M at one point too.
Yeah. So which makes it really interesting. I think he's just a really talented player, and so I think that it's just because he's only been playing Wi-Fi. Honestly,
yeah.
The game's so different when you're not on Wi-Fi, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's caused that big of a skill gap to create, and he's not focusing on competing, where in other games he has focused on competing. So it just goes to show you how much work he put in the previous games to stay at the top. I think it's like the fact that he can't immediately go in and start winning is actually a really good sign for the game.
So, hard call. Is Zero making top 5, yay or nay?
I'm gonna say he's making top 8. I will say.
So you're saying he's getting 7th? If he's not getting top 5 and he's getting top 8, then he's getting 7th.
You're correct. I'll say he's getting 7th. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird call, but we're here to make bold claims. So I'm gonna say he's getting 7th. What about you?
Oof. Well, I don't hate that call. Wait,
tell me the other players, because I forgot. Let's go down the list.
Well, sure thing. We can get back to that. Mm-hmm. So the players who were able to qualify at Genesis 6. So these were the top 3 placing people at Genesis 6. Mm-hmm. Were MKLeo, the top 3 that weren't already invited. So MKLeo won Genesis 6, but the 3 right below were Zachary, DeBuzz, and Void. No, pardon me. It was the 4. So Zachary, DeBuzz, Samsora, and Void.
Got it.
And they earned their spot into Summit. And yeah, sorry. That's what happened. So Light and Zachary had to do an emergency best of 5 backstage to see who got invited to Summit. Zachary ended up winning that set against Light, but Light was able to win the first place at Nimbus, which also got him a spot. So the remaining 4 were Zachary, DeBuzz, Light, Void, and Samsora.
Okay, yeah. I actually think Zero being 7th is optimistic.
I think so too. I don't think Zero's making top 8. I don't. And
I will say that he is, just to be bold.
Okay. So you're being optimistic. I'm going to be realistic. I don't think I bet Zero's getting like ninth. That's my call. I don't think he's getting top 8 for sure.
I think it's a safe call. I think you've made the call if I was betting on it.
Okay.
But actually no, I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like I should choose the call that I would bet on.
Nah, you said 7th. Move on. Get over it. Right?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Which is why I'm sticking with 7.
We did gloss over the players who were voted in, right? That's kind of the Summit's. I don't know. The notable thing about Summit is the voting process, and this was also a sort of a source of controversy. Tweak kind of famously decided to opt into the voting process, but he didn't at all campaign, and as a result, he did not make it into Summit, which is interesting. So, before we talk about that, the players that were voted in were Mango, Plup, Cosmos, ZD, and Gluttony. Gluttony. It is not Gluttony. So that doesn't really surprise me. A lot of those characters, or a lot of those people, are very famous. Mango, Plup have their fan bases. Cosmos, very well deserved. Gluttony, Europe, definitely pulled in for their boy. Armada and Leffen were really advocating for him to get in. And ZD, MVDA Zone, they always have a lot of people. They're really good about supporting their boys. And ZD definitely earned it with his performances at the earliest Ultimate majors. Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy with the 5 that were voted in, actually.
Yeah, ZD performed remarkably well at Nimbus as well. I guess just went there to play spoiler, which is really funny. But yeah, played exceptionally well. If I'm not mistaken, I think he sent Tweak to losers, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he sent someone important to losers. It was pretty wild to think.
No, you're right. He did.
Yeah.
He did for sure.
Yeah, which is pretty huge because that ended up meaning that Tweak didn't even make Summit, which is kind of a crazy thought because a lot of people were thinking that a lot of people consider Tweak to be the best player in Ultimate right now.
Well, that's the thing. What does it mean for you as a viewer watching Summit, knowing that the winner of this still, might not be the best player in the world? It's almost like winning an NBA championship right after Michael Jordan retired prematurely. It's like, yeah, you won, but Michael Jordan wasn't there. So it you have that emptiness about it. Like, sure, you have the ring, but deep down in your bones, you know that people aren't going to give you the credit for it. I kind of anticipate something like that happening. What do you think?
I think it's inevitable that people will look on this with an air of illegitimacy. Like, there's no way to get around that, and that's fine. I think that's okay. We don't need it. I actually think that unlike previous summits, which in Melee you would know that the top 6, top 7, or even top 8 are always going to be there, whereas in this we clearly don't have we don't have that guarantee because Tweak isn't there.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have to take it that's as seriously. I mean, we can just say that whoever wins, whoever does well, is clearly it's clearly amazing among their peers of incredibly talented players, and we have most of the really solid players in there. So I think
if I won this tournament, I'd be very happy. Let me put it that
way. I and the thing is, the fact that Tweak couldn't even make it through this qualifier just puts some question marks on that claim to being the best player in the world. Like, there's so many now. Now it's actually very much in the air. Whereas when people saw Tweak 3-0 MKLeo definitively at Frostbite, people were like, okay, Tweak seems like the best player in the world.
Yeah, I was certainly feeling that way. But yeah, it is what it is. Tweak was a little bit bitter about the whole voting process, I think. He's kind of an introvert. I don't know Tweak personally. I've talked to him a couple times. I'm by no means, a friend of his. or even an acquaintance of him. I don't know the guy, but from the outside, it seems like he's a bit of a social pariah. Like he gets really anxious about being in the spotlight, and is very introverted.
No, we can change that though, because he said at 2,000 Twitch subscribers, he said he'll get a personality. His words, not mine.
Did he reach 2K?
I'm not sure if he reached 2K now, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it because I think Tweak has a lot of cool things to say about the game, and he is I think by default, like other than Conga, the best DK in the world.
Yeah.
So
he's your boy.
He's automatically my boy. So
yeah, no, dude, literally every time like a Genesis 6, he was in my pool, and so we chatted for a while. He's just a sweet guy. He's really chill. He's a cool dude. I think the spotlight gets to him a little bit, and he definitely was not aggressive in his campaigning, which is his fault. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's kind of the game you play. You either play or you don't. But if you don't, you can't be mad if you don't win, right? And he was kind of getting like that. He was pretty done with the whole situation, and which is kind of a shame. I think if he campaigned even a little bit, he would have got it. His roommate and buddy Cosmos made it in, and Tweak's definitely more deserving, and I would argue more popular than Cosmos, or at least, as popular. So kind of a shame. I think he could have been there if he really wanted to, or if not if he wanted to, but I think he could have managed to get there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if he wanted to is fair because he just didn't try enough. Like if you try, you want it.
Yeah, but it's almost like it's like overweight people want to lose weight, but they still struggle with it. I feel like that's Tweak. Like I think he wanted to want to campaign, but I just don't think he has the personality to handle it. It's a lot of pressure, I think.
Sure. I think that's totally fair. And the thing is that we want to see people who are like super extroverted or even the introverts come out and be forced into these cool situations where we get to see their personalities bloom. So I think it's cool that the people who campaign and the people who are reaching out are getting rewarded. I love the campaigning process. I honestly don't care at all that people are mad about it. And I will be a little more bold about that than I usually am because
spicy AV. I like this.
Because it's just supposed to be like a wild, crazy thing. Like if you want an event that's just a pure invitational of all of the best players to get into a house, like great. Show me how you're gonna make it profitable.
That sounds boring as hell, man. That sounds like a chicken breast in the oven or something. Yeah. It's like, look, yeah, it provides me all the nutritious value I could want, but god damn, do I not want to eat it?
Right. I mean, the thing is that like there's the way that Beyond the Summit has marketed themselves and the way that they have placed themselves in this environment is great. And I think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's clearly it's clearly working well.
It's so fun. I mean, dude, yeah. I was looking at this. I'll pull up the number right now. For the amount of money that was raised just for this event, just by the Smash community. Take a guess. Give me a guess how much money was spent to raise money for this.
$200,000.
Well, you went a little high, a little bit lower.
150.
A little bit lower.
131.
Close enough. 138.
Okay.
$138,000. That means that the singles prize pool is $50,000.
That's pretty wild. I mean, while I did go ridiculously high just to overshoot you,
it really took the wind out of my sails there. I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Have you ever seen Prices Right? You never go high.
Were we playing by those rules? Okay. You gotta tell me that we're playing Prices Right rules.
Yeah, but no. Either way, it's crazy. This much money is being spent. Like this is the same community that complains and they have to spend like $5 for a venue fee at a local tournament. It's crazy. I didn't know that the Smash community had this much money. Buy our merch. But that's really cool, man. I'm excited. Summit always brings it with the prize pools, and I think it's important to do that because the whole time you're watching all these kind of wacky skits and the players play Mafia and doing all their little silly things that they do around the actual competitive tournament itself, you always have this kind of context, this big blue ribbon waiting at the end of the whole thing. It really legitimizes the whole tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's such a well presented event that has been wrapped up with a bunch of really cool side events, and it means a lot for the community, especially as a boot camp. I think that's one of the things that we haven't really touched is I want to see who explodes after this event, because I think for Melee, who I saw explode after Summit was Zane.
Yeah.
And I want to see another Zane story, because Zane, if to give some context on his story in Melee, he was a documentary kid, and the people who are called documentary kids are people who got into Melee after watching the really famous Melee documentary.
That was me. Was that you? Are you a doc kid?
I'm not a doc kid. I actually watched it after I started playing competitive Smash, but I watched it really late, so okay. I'm even further than that. But I think and the thing is, he started playing Melee so late and then immediately became an easily a top 10 player.
I actually remember when you watched it and you were quoting it hey, remember that one part from the documentary for like a month? And I was like, hey, we all watched this like 2 years ago, man. It's like it's like if I'm like talking about like the 2016 Olympics right now, like, hey man, we see the Winter Games. Wait, no, 2016 was the Summer Games. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, did you see this from? It's like, yeah, I haven't thought about that for years, but yeah.
There's this XKCD comic about how everyone is like the first person to learn there's like 1,000 people that are like the first person to like hear about something for the first time every day.
Oh yeah.
That was like, it's like 1,000 or 10,000 or something like that. That was me in that day. I was like everyone else knew the documentary, and I sat through and binge watched the entire thing because it was incredible.
Yeah. Well, day one of Summit, we got. It's kind of the fun day for sure. This is before singles actually starts properly, so this will be Friday. I'm excited. You have random versus random, one stock best of 5. So that's kind of like the event I'm looking forward to least, honestly. One stock just seems cumbersome. I feel like the game's gonna end so quickly, then they're gonna have to like load back in, and I don't know. Does that seem weird?
Might as well play random squad strike at that point or something.
Well, right after that, you have the Melee versus Smash community crew battle. And then immediately after that, the squad strike crews. And right. that's what I'm excited about. It'll be 4 teams of 4 doing crew battles, squad strike style. Like, this is going to be sick.
That is going to be really cool. So, and by squad strike style, as in like everyone still has all of their characters. They have all their character stocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and it'll be cool. I'm not sure all the rules, but I know Leffen, Nairo, Zachary, and Mewtwo King are going to be captains.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be funny to be seeing Zachary like picking. I want to see Mango and Zachary team up. That's like the combo.
Zachary's on Team Beer. He's not even. It makes no sense.
If dude, put Zachary on Team Beer, I will be so happy.
Yeah, that's so funny. I think I love Summit because it gives you like all of these funny memes, and it's so crazy. We've never seen it. Like, I mean, we had that mini like Smash 4 Ultimate thing, but
that was kind of boring.
It kind of was like it wasn't. It clearly wasn't the same level.
Because the Beyond the Summit team, the people that host the event, they are some of the most amazing people. Like, their production quality for all their skits, all the little different small things that add up to make the tournament fun to watch. They're amazing, and you can you can try to emulate their formula, but they have it down. They put on a show. You know what I mean? These guys don't mess around.
Right. I trust their decision making, and I mean, like, even though, like you said, like maybe one maybe like one stock randoms doesn't seem fun right now. It might seem fun later. I don't know, but there's something interesting. There's no doubles.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. This actually is probably the first summit without doubles, right?
Yeah, I think it is. And that's interesting. I'm a little sad that. Well, okay, yeah, I am a little sad that some Smash tournaments are deviating from doubles. I think doubles is super fun in Ultimate. But I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm in the minority, but there is a large amount of people that don't like Ultimate doubles. And I respect their opinion. I think it's fun, but it certainly is more fun to play than it is to watch. I will give you that. I think watching Squad Strike is super fun. And like we were talking about earlier, I mean, Beyond the Summit is in this to make money. I think that this is a good call. I think that putting Squad Strike crews is going to be way more fun than doubles. I'm being honest with you.
I absolutely agree. I think it's kind of a no-brainer, honestly. It's just so weird. Like we usually see at any of these really big events where you're playing multiple side events and there's still no doubles. So
well, that's the differentiating quality. That's what makes Smash interesting. Or not. Well, that isn't solely what makes Smash interesting, but it is a standout feature compared to other fighting games. Like other games don't have doubles. You can't play doubles in Street Fighter. It's a really unique thing that is so special about Smash. I think doubles is magical.
Yeah, it is. I love that you describe it that way. It's crazy because normally in normal Smash, there's so many things you don't have to think about when you're playing with someone else. There's players that I've seen do extremely well in doubles and not well in singles. Like it's such a crazy thought because like you just think, okay, if you're good at Smash, you should be able to play doubles. And there's so many intricate parts to it that make it a really beautiful experience to watch and play, which is why I'm a little disappointed, but I totally agree that Squad Strike's gonna be more fun.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see I don't know, like Nairo team up with Armada or something. Like, seeing those kind of crossovers.
Did you know that if Prodigy got into Summit, they would have done doubles just to see Zachary and Prodigy team?
Yeah, that was the kid squad. But yeah, no, I'm happy with this. And then following up on the rest of Friday, we're gonna have Family Feud and Mafia. So just kind of some silly side games. The Family Feud they did a few years ago, I thought it was so funny. Like, they did Jeopardy a few years ago. That I thought was awesome. Family Feud, I'm not sure if they've done, but when they did Jeopardy, it was super cool. So I think it'll be fun. I bet they'll do a good job.
Yeah, I've actually tuned in less to those more fun more fun events. I watch Mafia every now and then, but the thing is, like in our community, we played so much Mafia that I got burned out.
I hate Mafia, dude. Can I say, Mafia sucks. The first time I saw these guys playing Mafia, I was like, "Oh, this is so funny, it's so novel." Like seeing all these guys goof around together is really kind of cute and cool. But yeah, man, it'll be cool. It'll be fun to see the Smash 4 guys, the middle guys interact. But I don't know, man. Mafia sucks. I'm fatigued, bro. I'm just Mafia fatigued.
Yeah, I think we're all burned out from Mafia for playing it so much after locals. But I think it'll be fun, like just for the novelty, like you said, of just seeing the Smash 4 Melee guys hang out together. I think we'll probably get some good moments. So all we can do is hope.
Yeah, I hope. I'm sure. Like some people are hearing what I'm saying and what you're saying. They're like, that's kind of heresy, man. Like Mafia is fun to watch. It's fun to play. It is. I'm just jaded, man. I'm old. I'm withered. Look, man. I got mouths to feed. I want to buy a fish. You know what I mean?
Do gingers get gray hair?
Do gingers? Well, they do, but it's much later in life than other people. The red don't crack.
I haven't heard that one before, but I was just thinking, I was like, wait, I've never seen like ginger gray hair. It's super weird.
I think I need to consult like some old. If you're an older ginger guy, like above the age of 70, and you're listening to the show, please write in. I'm curious. I've never met an elderly ginger man. Like none of my grandparents, were gingers. So I don't know. I kind of came out of the woodworks. Like
It's a little it's a little ominous, don't you think?
I think there
So
was
what
like
happens to him? What happens to him?
they just get abducted at the age of 65. No one remembers them.
Dude, at the age of 51, they just take you to Area 51. That's why. That's what he does.
Isn't can you guys just check in with me like in 60 years from now? Will you put like an alarm on your phone to say, "Yo, where's Peon? How's he doing?" Just check up on me, please. That's all I ask. If not, remember this warning. But day 2 is when singles pools starts proper. That'll be cool. I believe they do round robin at Summit, right? Usually, so they'll do 4 pools of 4.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest thing about the format is that you do get to see round robins, and the round robins they're best of 5 or best of 3.
Everything at Summit is always best of 5.
Yeah, it's always best of 5, and that's awesome. I love seeing so many best of 5 sets. Well, I think it does kind of take a toll on the players because playing it like that many best of 5s is probably exhausting. It's cool. I love seeing best of 5 sets because I think they're so different from best of 3s, and you do get to see more clearly like adaptations over a set. Whereas in like a best of 3, you maybe can see like a few changes here and there, but it's nowhere near as dynamic, nowhere near as hype. So I'm super glad that we get to see that we get to see these players like finally getting to really get a lot of time with each other to adapt and change how they play the game.
Yeah, I love best of 5s. Like the 5th game is always so much different than the first game if you watch carefully, and they're always just fun. It feels more legitimate. Like, and of course you get those big 3-0s. Like a 3-0 to me is so much more impactful than a 2-0. You know what I mean? Like when I say, "Oh, I 3-0'd him," like no one ever says, "Oh, I beat him 2-0." Like that doesn't mean as much as hitting him with the 30 bomb.
I mean, you're right, and it's weird. It's just one more game, but yeah,
it's also 50% more games.
You're completely right. It is 50% more games. A 3-0 is like means definitively this player had 3 chances to adapt to what you were doing, and they didn't do it. Like the second game. See, the thing is, you can do something where you destroy them the first game. The second game, they kind of see what's going on, and then they do some small adaptations, but they still don't win, and that's a 2-0.
Yeah.
But I feel like the third game is really what defines you as a player. If you're down 0-2, that is what defines every Smash player, being down 0-2.
Yeah.
It's a super reductive thing to say, but I think it's kind of a beautiful concept if it was true at all. It's so cool because like that's when you have to take all of this knowledge that you've gained over the set and then say, I'm going to use all of these things that I've learned to now 3-0 you. Like and the thing is, because of how often that actually happens, it does happen like a decent amount of the time. I think that's why like that's why just a 3-0 just means that okay, you've closed them out. Like there's no argument.
Yeah, I completely agree. Would you ever think like we'll ever go beyond a 3-0? I know that I was watching PC Chris versus Ken, like a really old school MLG set. For some reason, I was just bored one day, and they were playing a best of 9. So it was like it was a first to 5 essentially. Best
of 9. I think it's just already really exhausting. Like I don't think we need any. It's like I think it's why in any other like card game, esport, you don't really play more than best of 5 because I mean you've already just decided who the better player is. I mean, hell, even in sports, it's like best of 1s sometimes, like all the way at a best of 1 single elimination.
Yeah.
That's tennis. Like it's like that. It's like best of 1, like single elimination. Granted, it's a massive game. Like
yeah, one game of tennis takes like 3 years. I hate tennis. My grandma, fantastic tennis player, lovely woman. She'd take me to tennis matches. We had, for some reason, Sacramento, the city I grew up in, has a like thriving tennis community, which is awesome for my tennis heads out there. But we would sit in the arena. It would be like we'd show up at 1 p.m. and they would play until like 1 p.m. of the next day. And all I would have is like a snow cone. I was like, Grandma, you bitch. No, I'm just kidding. No,
you should not watch cricket. That's all I'm saying. Man.
Cricket? Is cricket worse?
Dude, cricket lasts over 5 days.
What? What are you talking about? Cricket lasts 5 days. What are they doing for 5 days?
Yeah, you never. It's the more palatable.
That's like the lifespan of an actual cricket.
The more palatable versions last 1 day. They're called ODIs. That's the 1 day, the 1 day version. But the old version of cricket lasts 3 to 5 days.
I respect the grind, dude. I respect the grind. Hey, I mean, I guess a Smash tournament takes 3 days, but we don't play for the whole time.
Yeah. They don't play. They have like afternoon tea breaks or something.
some other British activities,
British sensibilities.
But after the pools, we have the commentator battle. What is it called? The commentator crew battle, right? So the commentators are TK Breezy, EA games, my bad, Vicky Kitty, Vish, Chillin, and Bam. A great lineup for sure. A lot of people were saying, "Oh man, where's Coney? Where's D1?" You know, Coney, a friend of the show, BTM Hall of Famer. Would have loved to have seen him. Same thing with Max. Is Max? I think somebody's bringing Max because I saw Max catch him tweet. Also, a friend of the show, BTM Hall of Famer, tweet out that he was like, we out here at Summit or something. Like he tweeted as if he was going. So maybe we'll see him. I hope he's an amazing player.
Yeah, someone probably used their spectator pass on him. So it's cool that we'll get to see him around.
I hope so. He's definitely a great asset. But it's weird if he gets a spectator pass. Do you think he'll ever be able to sit on the couch, or can only the players and the invited commentators commentate?
I think they usually only let the normal commentators commentate. So that's going to be interesting. But in any case,
that'll be a shame. He's a great commentator.
Yeah, he's a great commentator, and though who's also some dude who's also a great commentator, Vish and Chillin, both Melee veterans. I want to see how they're gonna do in Ultimate. I'm super excited for that.
And Vish and Chillin actually kind of have a pseudo Smash podcast on Chillin's YouTube channel, or mostly Twitch. They talk about Smash and mostly Melee, but Vish is an awesome dude too. Really. I mean, Chillin is too. But they're all great. I actually, funny enough, I had like a 5-minute conversation with Vish and Chillin individually on the same day, and both were kind of happenstance, and both of them were alcohol related. And in both times, both those guys were just like the nicest, most down to earth guys. You can definitely tell why they're beloved. Speaking of Chillin, though, I don't know if you saw Chillin's like Salem diss track.
No, I didn't. But
you didn't see
that?
this?
I heard there was a thing.
Oh man, no, yeah. Chillin just dropped a Mr. Wizard / Salem diss track, dude, and he collaborated with Mike Hayes. What instant classic, man. If it isn't already on your Spotify, what are you doing, my man? My mom already knows the second verse by heart.
Dude, we gotta get her on again. To rap.
But it'll be cool, man. Who do you think's gonna take this? My money currently is either on TK or Vicky. Vicky's Corrin's pretty sick, man. She made it out of Pools of Genesis.
What's the? Well, yeah, we have the line. Yeah, TK. Yeah, TK's gonna take it.
So for the rest of day 2, we have Mafia again, which we only need to go over, and day 3. This is the big day. So this is the actual bracket part of the competition. It's funny that like the entirety of the actual bracket itself is on day 3, but in Summit's past, there are already players in losers bracket out of pools, so it'll heat up very quickly. But yeah, man, we'll walk away. Champion will be crowned. It'll be a big day, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty wild. Who is your favorite going into the? I guess that's the obvious question. Who's your favorite going into day 3 of Summit?
Yeah, man. This I want to have an interesting take. I really do. But it has to be MK Leo. I,
Yep.
I don't see a world where he doesn't win this thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. I don't think, like I said earlier, that I like being bold. I like making bold takes. There's no bold take here. I think MKLeo, especially with Tweak not being present, is very clearly the favorite to take this.
I think Void is very comparably good, but I think that, unless Void pulls out the Wolf or something other than the Pichu, I don't think he could beat Leo. I think that Leo's Lucy is just way too good at the Pichu matchup. Maybe Void's going to pull out some junk and get some stuff done. I won't count him out yet, that's for sure. But yeah, MKLeo's my guy. I won a lot of money at Genesis 6 betting on MKLeo, and if I have to keep betting on him, I will, because I think he's going to do great work.
Yeah, I think that a close second could be anyone from Light, ZD, Void, Zachary. I actually think everything below first is a total toss-up.
Yeah, and frankly, I think MKLeo's kind of historically been upset kind of often. Like, it's weird. Like, MKLeo's super consistent, but he definitely is not infallible. He definitely isn't, like, zero legacies of not getting upset. So I definitely could see a world where he loses. But to whom, I have no idea. I don't think there's a clear second. I don't think there's a clear... If it was like MKLeo and Tweak both in tens, I would say one of them for sure is winning. Mm-hmm. But who knows, man? We could have a lot of different guys. I mean, Light just proving he could win a major like this last weekend, right? Zachary's done so much work in Japan. Maybe this will be his big breakout tournament. Are there any matchups that you really hope to see specifically?
I want to see... Wait, did Zachary and Leo get to play?
No, they have not played yet.
I honestly want to see them play. I think they're both very similar in the sense that they're both like pretty. I mean, obviously MKLeo is not young in the scene anymore. Pretty much a veteran, but they're both young minds.
Yeah, well, they're cut from the same cloth. They're both kind of the prodigies in their own eras. Very similar storylines. Very similar, like, dominant in their own region, had their doubters, and then came to a foreign land and showed up and proved, hey, look, I can play. Leo, I want to remind you guys, he didn't rise to the top right away, but he did very quickly afterwards. After his first appearances in North America and Smash 4. Zachary, we could see the same thing, man. He's only been to 2 tournaments up in the States. Who knows what potential this kid's got, man.
Yeah, I think he's been to 3, if I'm not mistaken.
3?
Actually, no, 2.
Frostbite and Genesis.
Is it just Frostbite and Genesis? Oh, okay, so in that case, yes. I thought he was at a tournament like today, Summit 0.5 or whatever, or was it like some... I forgot what it was today. I know he was attending something today.
No, he was just at Mango's house.
Oh, okay, got it. So yeah, he was at Summit 0.5.
Yeah. Someone was at a tournament, just Mango
I forgot.
Drinking Coronas.
Someone was acting like it was that there was some tournament held today. So I guess that's not the case.
Okay.
But so here's the other thing that I think you'll also be really interested in is Cosmos versus X, as in anyone. I want to see if Inkling really can compete with the top players. We've seen a lot of good Inkling stuff from a lot of players. We've seen Cosmos sneak his way into top 8s, but he has shown that he's kind of gotten ripped apart when he's facing the best of the best. And I want to see him compete a little more.
Yeah, I do too. I know that Leffen still has a lot of faith in Inkling. He still thinks that Inkling's like a top 2 character. Last time I heard his opinions. I'm excited to see him too. I think Cosmos is a great player. I also want to see Armada and his Inkling. Can Inkling do it? And of course, I mean, as an Inkling player, I selfishly want to see them succeed. I really want to see Melee versus Smash 4, where a Melee veteran wins. I just think that'd be hype. I think every Melee player that's entering this bracket is kind of an underdog in their own right. You know, Leffen, Armada, Mango, Plup, Mewtwo King. All those guys are big wild cards. If I was a top Smash 4 veteran playing against these guys, I would be a little scared because it's kind of a lose-lose situation. You beat them, and it's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to. But if you lose, like if MK Lair loses to Mango, the world will be lit on fire.
It would be such a cool timeline to see one of the Melee players take it, especially because it is like some sort of validation in the fact that okay, they have all these fundamentals from playing a Smash game theoretically. Some people don't consider Melee a Smash game, but they have all these fundamentals for playing this game. Like we want to see it cross over. We want to see their ability to be good at Smash to cross over, and obviously it's not as direct because of the complete changes in the engine and the play style. But we've seen Armada do it on his stream, and he has placed not that unfavorably at big tournaments. We've seen Leffen do some crazy stuff. And we've seen obviously Plup do some really cool things. Mewtwo King wildcard could honestly do it. He's the one that I'm looking at actually. He, in my opinion, has more potential than Leffen or Plup, even though Leffen or Plup are seen as the more consistent Melee players. But I think actually Mewtwo King is the one with the highest ceiling.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he really has yet to prove himself in Ultimate. I mean, that much is for sure. But I think that you can never count this guy out. His legacy alone is in terms of playing multiple Smash games, is the best of all time, right? So I'm excited to see Mewtwo King. I'm a big fan of him. He's hilarious. So, of course, want to see him do well. But I think we kind of covered it, Abhi. I think all that we have left to do is just watch the damn thing.
Yeah, I think we're done. There's only so much more we can hype it up, and I think we've done a pretty good job. Beyond the Summit, as we said, is an awesome event. All of you should be sure to check it out, whether or not you like competitive Smash or not, or that you really like want or that you're really invested in the competitive scene. Obviously, a lot of you probably that are listening want to get better and want to kind of start to get a foray into playing this game competitively. But it's just a fun thing to watch. Like it's just like a cool cool event, just like any other Twitch stream, except it's just like you get to see a bunch of guys having fun, playing some more casual Smash than you're used to, and it's going to be a good show.
For sure, man. Well, I think that about wraps it up. AV, I got some questions lined up. First one is from B Squared. B Squared asks, how am I supposed to deal with losing so often? It seems that the few times I do get to play when I'm not busy with school, I'm losing online and in friendlies. It gets very discouraging and honestly makes me want to give up the game at times.
Honestly, this isn't a particularly unique situation. A lot of people face the same thing. You see a lot of people wanting to give up the game because they're losing. And the thing is you have to go back down to the reasons why you play the game. Honestly, if you play the game to have fun and you're not having fun because you're losing, I honestly don't know what to tell you. You have to get better. Like you have to understand why you're losing, pick out your issues and improve. There's plenty of people, especially in our Discord, who are awesome at kind of pointing out some of the things that you're doing and start really analyzing that. If losing is the reason why you're not having fun, all right, that's it. But the thing is, if you want to give up the game, just kind of recontextualize it, start playing different characters, start playing with different goals in mind. If you're not that focused competitively, just changing the way that you think about the game is usually the way that you can kind of get reacquainted with having fun. What do you think, Peon?
Yeah. You're learning, you're not losing. you have to be process oriented. The result is often much less important than what you've learned along the way. So I said just keep playing, keep improving. Don't worry about the result of the match. Worry about what you learned in that match. What did you improve? What did you do wrong? And correct the specific mistakes that you made. And don't worry about the results screen.
Yeah, and one more thing to jump in there. It's just that if you don't get much time to play and you can't see yourself improve, understand that it's because a lot of people put so much time into this game, and you really got to put in the hours to get where you to improve. It does. It's just like any other sport or hobby. So let's go into this next question by Generic. Uh, what goes into making a name or tag for yourself in the Smash community? How did you get the names that you use today, and what do they mean to you? I found myself having an identity crisis over this, and am questioning my current tag, Generic, for future use.
Yeah, generic. I think the name generic is pretty cool. So don't question it, bro. I said just roll with it. And plus, Abhi and I have said your name now on the podcast. Generic, generic. So now it has stuck officially. So sorry, bud, you can't change it anymore. The answer to that for me is quite simple. When I grew up playing a game called Warcraft 3, and Warcraft 3 was the predecessor to the MMO World of Warcraft, which is much more popular than Warcraft 3. But in that game, there was a unit. It was a strategy game, and one of the units was called a Peon, and I just thought that they were very funny. When I was a kid, I thought they were cute, and when you would click on them repeatedly, they would say funny things like "ow" and like "stop clicking on me," and it was like very meta. And I thought that was funny as a kid. And in my head, I was a very odd child. The verb that I would use to describe what I was doing to these NPCs was chopping them. Like I thought I was doing like some sort of like disciplinary chop, like a karate chop. So I called myself Peon Chop. And then when I went to my first ever Smash tournament, I had to sign in with a pencil. But the name square where you sign your name was so small, my handwriting was so big, that I just gave up after writing the N. So I just was Peon. I just couldn't fit the chop. And then the Peon thing just kind of stuck. And I love it now. It's like it's a nickname I've just grown attached to. It's like I respond to it as if it was my own actual first name.
Yeah, like I remember in the last episode you go over like a lot of the fact that like when you're in the Smash community, you have these two different. You're like completely separate from your other self. Like Dane is so different than Peon. Like you can have a great day as Peon and then go back to the normal life of Dane and then have these like completely individual stories. And I think that's super cool. My name is super boring. It's my initials. It's my initials. I didn't like. Okay, there is a funny story that I can go with it. I have gone my entire life with the edgiest nicknames in MMOs, video games. I have used the most obnoxious, edgy names in all of these video games, and I think in this one I was just like, dude, I gotta stop.
Yeah, Avi and I have been playing Apex Legends together.
Oh, don't do this to me.
And his old username from like 2012 or whatever is Fallen Gaia.
Oh my god.
That's like the most edgelord name I've ever heard, dude.
Oh my god! I logged into Origin after like 6 years, and I look at my name, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna kill me for this.
So Gingerbread asks, having just learned that playing quick play can make you develop bad habits, such as Zelda players getting away with using Neutral B and King K. Rool abusing Super Armor, can you list other abuses or moves of characters that happen in quick play? Let me just take a first crack at it, maybe. I think that those are two great examples. But just generally the meta in online matches is just a little bit different. That's something that like a lot of people just need to realize. Stuff like projectiles by nature are buffed in a laggy connection because A, you can't punish the end lag of using the projectile as well. Also, you can't react to the projectile itself as quickly, so you might not be able to shield it or grab it out of thin air like you normally would be able to. So pretty much any projectile move, like I'm looking at you like charge shot, I'm looking at you like youngling boomerang. Those like the me swordsman tornado.
Yeah.
So pretty much universally every projectile is a good example of this.
Yeah, to jump off of that and to kind of characterize the essence of what Wi-Fi is basically you have a neutered advantage and disadvantage state. Your disadvantage state is not as bad because people can't punish you as well, and your advantage state is hard to capitalize on because a lot of the stuff that you do, that a lot of your punishes that you do aren't going to come out perfectly on Wi-Fi. So a lot of stuff that rewards winning neutral over and over again, such as projectiles, will win you the game. So it's unfortunate, but you have to go in understanding that you can't play the game like it. Like if you try to go to your local and play like, let's just say Link or Toon Link, and only spam projectiles, and then like go for the like occasional fair after connecting with the bomb every time, you're not going to be able to push your advantage as much, and you're not going to get that far. It's not to say that people are like that people are like, if I go and lose to your like your Toon Link on Wi-Fi, that probably means you're a good player. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's, if you lose, you lose. Like it's just a different environment, so treat it differently.
Yeah, I think that was well said. AV, everybody else, this has been a great episode. Love talking to you about this. Summit, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's right around the corner. I know what I'm going to be doing this weekend. All your kids might be running around, with your wines and your beers. Well, I'm going to be inside with my wines and my beers, watching Summit. And, you'll be seeing me in the Discord. Hopefully, maybe we should do a little viewing party or something. I don't know. I'm not going to announce anything officially, but expect me to be in the Discord a lot this weekend watching the matches.
Yeah, same here. I'm really excited. I've blocked this weekend off, and we're just going to be watching some Smash, playing some Smash, and hanging out.
Speaking of our Discord, you can join our Discord in the show notes of today's episode and in our YouTube description, as well as our website, beyondthemetagame.com. You can find us on Twitter at BeyondMetagame. That's right, at BeyondMetagame. And you can find me on Twitter at Peon_GCE. That is Golf Charlie Echo for all of you choir boys.
And you can find me at Abhi Vaidyanatha, my long Indian last name.
Guys, as always, thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.